Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Ride 4. Week 27 of the weekly challenges is here, and it's time for the French Riviera on board the Triumph Street Triple RS 2020. So here we are in the aforementioned track on board this Triumph Street Triple, a wonderful motorcycle which I very much enjoy using. But for the time being, going into this long tunnel, just give it full throttle and give it a bit of lean angle. Make sure you're tucking in as well. My preset button for the tucking is the X button, so make sure you're pressing your said button. Now be very careful in this tunnel on the left hand side. There is a small dip middle of the road which is very easy to miss, but it's easy to get caught out with, so just pay attention to that one and be very careful. Use the zebra crossing there to make sure you're braking there going into Roche or Roque, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but make sure you use that as a bit of a guide going into the right hander there. Bring it in nice and tight to the wall, but do not touch the wall, because that goes without saying, because you will end up crashing. Now use the sign here for the 150 meter, 100 meter to then bring it into the right hander. So if you're into the 100 meter zone, you can still pretty much lean in with full lean angle or just enough, and maybe sort of move the controller from left to right to about 35 degrees to full 100 degrees lean angle, and then push it across. Hard on the brakes will go now for the left hander or for the Epinal a gauche, and for the left hander of turn 6. Bring on the power somewhat, and as you bring on the acceleration here, just as you get to the 4th gear, just drop it down into the right hander of turn 7, nice and tight to the apex, to then fire it out on the wide corner exit of the turn 7. A bit of a tightening corner there, so now go on to the left hand side, bring it in and just begin to brake slowly. Give yourself plenty of time to brake in this track. There's no heavy braking zones, there's a lot of areas where you can sort of glide going into the corners. Just be very careful on the braking zones here. There's not many things I can point out to you to say where you should exactly be braking. I would use this as a guide, as a visual guide to see exactly where I am braking, because this is what I found to be the most successful. Now I did only do 2 laps here in the French Riviera because I've been absolutely inundated with content. I've got a video which you've probably already seen coming out today, and that is a brand new review of WRC 10, so stay tuned for that. If you haven't seen it already, I would recommend checking it out. That is a full review for that game. But of course on the right hand side, bring it into the final couple of corners now, or technically just one long sweeping corner for the finish line in just a moment's time. This lap's going to be more than good enough for the gold, so if you follow something similar, you're bound to find yourself with the gold time trial. So going into the first corner once again, bring it into the right hand side, as you can see, just reducing the acceleration just a little bit, not letting my finger off the throttle completely, just letting it off a little bit, so maybe reducing from 100% throttle to maybe about 75 to 80%. So we are behind the ghost for the time being, but pay attention to the dip in this track here. You're going to see it in just a moment's time. A little bit of a dip, the rider bops down into his seat. Just be very careful going into that corner. Reduce your speed, maybe don't tuck in, and just let go of the acceleration, and you'll be absolutely fine, or at least reduce the acceleration going over that bump. There's not many of those parts of this track that really catches you out, but if there is any, it's certainly that one going into the tunnel. So bring on the acceleration, keep an eye on the left hand side, 150 meter, 100 meter zone, bring it into the right hand side, just let off the throttle just a bit. You don't have to completely reduce your speed, but just make sure you reduce the acceleration just a little bit, and just enough to make sure you can get your bike into that corner. Right hand side of your screen, you're going to see 150 meter zone or 100 meter zone. Brake roughly around 125 or 130 meter zone. If you want to try and be a bit later than that, make sure you go heavy on the rear brake. And the same thing I mentioned is you're going to get up close enough to 4th gear, get into your 4th gear, and then drop it into the brakes going into the right hander of turn 7. Keep on the right hand side of the analog stick and keep pushing into the corner there. Don't let the throttle go wide, because you will end up going onto the rumble strip and losing time. Left hand side will move over now as you get into the position of swinging the bike to the right. Make sure you're not doing any of that pushing and pulling technique with the analog stick. Make sure you're rotating it and moving it firmly and gently and smoothly, opposed to being in a little bit of an abrupt movement. None of this abrupt movements, and you're in these very tight sectors here. When you're moving it to left to right, be smooth, be controlled, be in control of the analog stick. None of this pushing, pulling and freewheeling, because that's going to have a bad time. So we'll get onto the braking zones now. Keep an eye on the left hand side, 150 meter braking zone. Bring on the brakes, bring on lots of rear brake, lots of front brake. Make sure the rider's weight is pushed right into the back of the seat to slow down the bike as much as possible. And now literally we've got the job done. It's as simple as that. Nice easy one for you guys today. Shouldn't be too much troubles, but if you do have any troubles, let me know in the comment section down below. So let's take a look at the 2 lap times we've done so far. Not a bad performance, a little bit down on the first sector, but I'm pretty certain we can improve our lap times quite a lot. But for the time being, those are those 2 laps, and they're more than enough for the gold. So final part of the video is looking at the leaderboards, and there we are in 4th position right now. I'm probably not going to spend too much time on this one, so I'm quite happy with the 4th position, but I hope this has helped you guys. If it has, let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single DrAce upload. Thanks for watching, guys, and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.